This is the Jisulife Pro3 desk fan with a built-in air purification feature. I have received a few requests to review it, so in this video I'm going to talk about some data that I've collected on this desk fan, such as wind speed, noise level and charging duration, as well as give my thoughts about the effectiveness of the air filtration feature on this desk fan. I bought this with my own money, so whatever I say is my honest opinion. First up, let's talk about the wind speed. My first impression of this table fan is that the wind speed is not as strong as I expected. To show you what I mean, I measured the fan at 1%, 50% and 100% fan speed, and here are the results. As you can see, the wind speed is pretty low, and in real-world use, I also feel that the wind speed is pretty weak, quite a bit weaker than the Aurashare DF08 desk fan, which is a fan that I reviewed before in the past, even though that fan is a lot more affordable than the Jisulife Pro3 desk fan. I believe this has to do with the fan head design. It has a large plate in the center with narrow vents around the perimeter. I'm not a super big fan of this design because I think that the narrow vents kind of limit the airflow. And sure, this design looks more sleek and modern, but I think that the traditional radial vent design, such as the one on the Aurashare DF03 desk fan, that one leads to a better balance of airflow and noise level in my opinion. This fan head design actually reminds me of the Life 5 Plus handheld fan, which is also from Jisulife. And I didn't really feel like that handheld fan was that good because the wind just doesn't feel that strong. But I do think that it is a design that's pretty safe and it helps to prevent kids' fingers from getting into the fan blades. And rather than having a rear vent with large openings at the back, the Pro3 table fan has small holes around it and behind it to draw air in. This kind of reminds me of the Ultra 2 handheld fan, which has a similar rear vent design. Again, although it looks sleek and you eliminate the look of having one big opening at the back, I don't think that the total area of all these openings is equivalent to having one large opening at the back. My guess is that it will probably affect the amount of air that the table fan can draw, and it might explain the relatively low fan speed. And another significant reason for the lower fan speed could also be due to the air filters inside it. Because I tried to remove the air filter by removing the screw at the bottom at the back and twisting the cover off. Then I did another wind speed test without the air filter, and it does show a slight increase in the minimum and maximum wind speed. This is not surprising since air filters will add some amount of air resistance, so it is a trade-off that you will have to make. What is surprising though is that the fan blades inside it are actually pretty small. It's nearly the same size as the fan heads on the Life 4 and Life 7 handheld fans. But the good thing is that the fan blades are actually accessible by removing the metal cover at the back, and this lets you do some cleaning for the fan blades. I also did another test at 50 centimeters away, which is the distance that I think most people will place a table fan at on their desk. Similarly, I also measured the fan speed at 1%, 50% and 100%, and I compared it with the DF08 desk fan as well. Here are the results. So again, the Pro3 table fan still did not beat the DF08 fan even with the filter removed. So these findings kind of justify the reason why I feel that the Pro3 table fan just doesn't feel that strong when I'm using it. Next up, noise level. I find that this fan is pretty loud for the amount of wind it is able to produce. So I did another noise comparison test using the Aurashare DF03 desk fan as a point of reference again to let you hear how the Pro3 table fan compares. As you can hear, the Pro3 table fan is noticeably louder at all fan speeds, which again I think is likely caused by the narrow openings at the front and rear vents, and as well as the air filter inside. All these factors will generate more air resistance and air turbulence and therefore create more noise. Next up, let's look at the air filtration feature. This table fan uses H11 HEPA filter. Now, if you are familiar with the different grades of air filters, you might be asking, why isn't this Pro3 table fan using the higher grade H13 or H14 HEPA filters? I think the reason is because higher grade filters have openings that are a lot smaller in order to trap the super fine particles. But having smaller openings also mean that the filters will generate a lot more air resistance. This means that if you don't have motors or fans that are strong enough to overcome this resistance, then the amount of wind that you get out of the fan will be very low. And that may be why Jisulife opted for the lower grade H11 HEPA filter, since H11 filters have larger openings and therefore create lesser air resistance. And if we consider the bigger picture, like trying to optimize for noise production, the wind production and filtration efficiency, I think the H11 filter is sufficient for this desk fan. If you truly want to filter super fine smoke particles or viruses, then get a dedicated air purifier instead, because they are designed with a fan that is strong enough to overcome the air resistance from a H13 or H14 air filter. In fact, clean air delivery rate, also known as CADR, is a better metric to determine air purification ability rather than the type of filter used. But unfortunately, Jisulife did not indicate what the CADR of this fan is, making it difficult to determine how effective this fan will be at air filtration. But anyway, I do also want to point out something that might be a deal breaker for many people, and that is the fact that at the moment, Jisulife doesn't sell replacement air filters for this fan. I approached my local distributor on Shopee, but they said that they currently don't offer replacement parts for this fan, including filters. Neither do I see any air filters being sold on Jisulife's official webpage. This means that once the filter gets dirty after about 6 to 12 months, you effectively lose the filtration feature on this Pro3 desk fan. This is pretty bad in terms of after-sales serviceability, and I feel like it defeats the whole purpose of this air purification feature if Jisulife is not going to sell the replacement filters for it. Next up, let's talk about battery life. This fan does have a built-in 10,000 mAh of battery, which means that you have the option of moving it around your house or office. As for the battery duration, at 1% fan speed, I found that it can run for 14 hours and 49 minutes, which is nearly 2 hours more than the 13 hours claimed from Jisulife. And at 100% fan speed, it lasted for 3 hours and 37 minutes, which is 1 hour more than the 2.5 hours claimed. You can check the battery life by double pressing the button under the on-off switch. Next up, charging. The fan can fast charge at 16 to 17 watts of power via the USB-C ports at the back. It takes about 3 hours to go from 0 to 100%, and this is pretty accurate with Jisulife's 2.5 to 3.5 hours claim. It can still continue to operate at 100% fan speed while it is charging, so you can just leave it plugged in all the time. Next up, let's look at the oscillation feature. The bottom button at the front lets you oscillate the fan horizontally, and you can choose how much the fan rotates by pressing the button multiple times. You can choose from 45 degrees, 90 degrees to 120 degrees. You can rotate it manually as well with 10 horizontal positions, and there is a satisfying click between each of them. You can easily rotate it horizontally with just one hand. There are no controls for vertical tilt adjustment, and you'll need to do that manually. You only need one hand to tilt it downwards, but to tilt it upwards, you'll need two hands because it is quite stiff. I believe this stiffness is necessary to prevent the weight of the fan from causing it to rotate downwards over time, like some of the lower quality fans do. It can point upwards quite a bit, but it can't really point downwards much, which is a pity because I want to be able to point it downwards to cool down my hot drink or hot food. Next up, the size. The circular base measures about 16 cm in diameter, but you also need to account for the fan head width, which is about 18.5 cm. The depth is about 14.5 cm. This means that it will take up more space when it is oscillating. Here is a visualization of how much space it takes up on 3 different desk sizes. It weighs about 1.32 kilograms, making it fairly easy to move around between different rooms. But due to the weight of the fan head, it will rotate quite easily when moving it around, so I hold on to the rotating part together when I'm shifting it around. Next up, the ring light feature. At the back of the fan, the button at the bottom lets you turn on the ring light, and you can switch between a few light modes by pressing a few times. Here are the different light modes available. The button at the top lets you change the color of the light, and here are the colors that are available. It's not the harsh kind of light, more like a soft light that doesn't get excessively bright. I can see how it will look nice as a background light for streaming or filming, and the lights can help to set the mood of your room and improve the aesthetic of your desk. And it might also appeal to you if you're a gamer and you want a fan with lights, although the range of colors is quite limited. Overall, I don't think you should be buying this fan for its wind speed or its air filtration feature, because I don't think it is effective at either of those aspects. And especially not if the air filter is not available as a separate purchase. You can get desk fans with way better wind speed than this one for way cheaper price. But if you're looking for a desk fan that is more visually appealing and looks more sleek than the usual desk fan design, then this will be a pretty good option. But that is if you don't mind paying a premium for its aesthetics. It kind of reminds me of those Dyson tabletop fans because they aren't the strongest in wind speed and not the most feature rich, but they do look pretty interesting compared to traditional fans, and there are people who will still buy them for the looks or for the branding. Alright, that's all I have for this Pro3 table fan. If you're interested in another outdoor camping fan from Jisulife that has much stronger wind speeds and can also serve as a desk fan, you can check out my review of it right over here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.